Hey gang, David Henry from Inspired Tennis, and before I give this racket off to my client, this finished one, this Dunlop 200 G95, I want to talk about one-piece string jobs versus two-piece string jobs. And as you may have known if you've watched my other videos or been to my blog at inspired-tennis.com, after every string job I measure the dynamic tension of the string bed with my Beers ERT 300 tension meter, okay? And so, back to the issue of one piece versus two piece, okay? Sometimes you have a choice. There's some rackets, head in particular, where you have to do two piece according to the manufacturer's recommendations, okay? But other times, when you're using the same type of string, so it's not a hybrid, you have the choice. You can do a one piece string job, or you can do two-piece. Now, if it's a traditional pattern where the crosses start at the head and work downward, I always do one piece. But there are some rackets where the crosses end at the throat and you have to work them upwards. And I've written another post on why that's not a good idea to string your crosses from bottom to top, so I'm not going to get into that here. But anyway, so if that's the case, if the crosses end at the throat, you've got two options. You can do a one-piece around the world pattern, or you can do a two-piece pattern, okay? And a lot of debate over which is better, which is not. I think it really boils down to just a personal preference, okay? And so what I've done for this racket, last time that I strung this for my client, I strung a one-piece Dire Desire around the world pattern, okay? And then I immediately measured the dynamic tension, and it was 49 DT, okay? The dynamic tension, the DT, was 49 units. Then this time, I got permission from my client to do a two-piece job. You know, I didn't want to switch that up on him without him knowing. So I got permission from him to do a two-piece job, okay? And so this time I strung it two-piece. So keep in mind, exact same racket, exact same tension, 63 pounds, exact same string, Prince Synthetic Guts 16 gauge black. I used my exact same stringing machine, so everything was the exact same. The only difference, the only variable in this little experiment was that before I used a one-piece around the world pattern, this time I used a two-piece pattern. One-piece pattern means 2 knots, two-piece pattern means 4 knots, okay? And this time when I did the two-piece, I got out my tension meter immediately after stringing, put it right there, and I'm very precise about this. I actually make sure I put it on the exact same string. So there's little hooks on the back of my tension meter. I always hook them on the 8th cross and the 10th cross on most rackets. So I'm very precise that everything's the exact same. And this time it registered 49 units of DT as well. So basically, no difference whatsoever in the dynamic tension of the string bed using a one-piece pattern, a one-piece string job versus a two-piece string job. And I'm kind of the belief, I've kind of gone back and forth. I enjoy doing the one-piece Dire Desire around the world patterns, but really two-piece patterns are a little bit easier. You don't have as much string to work with, so you're not pulling through as much string, and it's just a little quicker to do a two-piece pattern. And you know, if you're stringing a lot of rackets, time is money. So I'm kind of leaning more towards two-piece. The thing is, you've got 4 knots on that, and that's where people believe, hey, on the tie-offs you may be losing tension. And I believe that if you tie good cinched up knots, like I do, then there's not going to be any difference in the dynamic tension of the string bed. And I actually was able to prove it with this little experiment. So one piece, two piece, as long as you're tying good cinched up knots, shouldn't make much of a difference. So it really boils down to a personal preference of your stringer, or you, if you are a stringer, what to do. So anyway, gang, I hope you found this information useful. If so, give me a comment on it on the blog or on the YouTube channel. Visit my blog at www.inspired-tennis.com. And that's all I have for today. Thanks for checking in.